Hello, welcome to Silver Tears Tarot. I was just thinking I wasn't going to put out a video today, and sometimes this sort of thing just happens, but I wanted to try something really quick. I want to call it the Soulmate Snapshot because honestly, it might end up being a little bit shorter than a regular reading. I don't know what kind of clarification we will do. I guess we'll see. So it's kind of no agenda, no assumptions, just kind of putting the questions out there to see what all wants to come out. I'll seed it with some questions, I think, but just kind of see what wants to come out. So it is definitely going to be a little bit on the broader side. It will be about your soulmates. It's a soulmate snapshot. But it's all signs, timeless. It won't resonate with everybody because nothing can possibly resonate with everybody. Although the people with whom it will resonate are all going to be on kind of the same storyline, but maybe at slightly different times. So we'll take a look. I have the Starman Tarot that I'm going to go ahead and read for you with, and then I'm going to clarify with the light seers that I was just holding. And I want to start with, I don't know, I think we'll start with what it is that you specifically need to know about this soulmate situation right now. Then we need to look into something that is hidden in your person's emotions because of all the things that I thought about maybe asking, that's the one that stuck up or stuck in there as you need to ask that as a specific question. And so we'll definitely ask that as well. What is hidden from you in your person's feelings? But let's start with what it is that you need to know right now. Because I feel like there is something you need to know right now. And so this Starman Tarot is very special. When I have a day like today, where I am feeling very connected with my higher self, very connected with my intuition. Sometimes this deck feels a little different to me. So you may not see it much, but when you do, watch out. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, what do we need to know right now? Something has not been set in motion. I get the sense that maybe it should be. And I think I'm just going to start clarifying and riffing with the light seers. So something hasn't been set in motion, feels like maybe it should be or it can be. Might just be that it's ready to be set into motion, but nothing has happened. It is sitting in a situation that feels a little bit like stagnant energy. We've got a couple of cards that came out there. Yep, there's our stagnant energy, not wanting to get up off of its chair. And then we also have this talking yourself out of it. So there's a sense of this is energy in your person's side. It's time to do something. It's time for them to get in touch with you. It's time for them to, this is just coming out. Okay, so it's time for something to happen. And in some cases, definitely time for some folks who are in separation to have their person get in touch with them. Their person is feeling like they could, but they also have this, I can't get up off my chair. They're talking themselves out of it, feeling like they can't necessarily muster what they need to muster. Wow, there's that lack of get up and go. There's lack of get up and go, lack of get up and go, and this one is an intentional. I'm calling myself off the curiosity. I am. Ooh, that's the fear right there. That's the. Let's use this one to lead right into our next question. Okay, so this fear, this Four of Cups that you see here in the reverse, they are afraid about the reaction that they have to you. So one of the reasons that they're talking themselves out of this, they're not moving towards you. They're not doing the thing feels like they should be doing here. And part of the reason for all that is that they have been talking themselves out of it because honestly, they're afraid that once they jump in, they won't be able to jump back out again. So they've got this feeling of inaction that they've been surrounding themselves with. They've basically been dousing their own flame over here, and they've got this sense of making themselves feel like they're going to compartmentalize it, they're going to push it away, they're not going to deal with it. And then over here you've got the Emperor, which is over here telling them, no, you're good. You can go ahead and move forward with this. It's time for you to go ahead and do that. But there is so much working against them wanting to get out there and do this. There's a lot of conflict in your person right now, and it all centers around this. I'm trying to get it to where you'd be able to read the words on all these cards with the orientations and the way they came out. But this Four of Cups in reverse, you see how disappointed she is in the with the card in the upright, and so this is the opposite. This is them being really impressed, really amazed, really tough to walk away from this type of attraction, and that is kind of what they feel like they're going to fall into and not be able to get out of. So interesting. Like I said, though, we're going to use this to go into our next question, which is essentially what is hidden from you in your person's feelings? So it's going to be hidden energy. It's going to impact the way that you think about things if you know about it. And I'm kind of feeling like this Four of Cups in reverse is already the beginning of our answer. Oh my gosh! Here's the Four of Cups in reverse. Well, there's the answer to that one. That's so awesome. Okay, so yes, there is definitely this sense that they are quite impressed. There is, and it's really just they feel a lot more strongly about you than they may previously have led you to believe. And I know a lot of you, they said really nice things to you, told you really wonderful things about yourself and the ways that they felt about you. That was not the whole story. It was the tip of the iceberg. They have a lot stronger feelings for you. They feel like they definitely haven't set them into motion yet. That's what we see here with this Three of Wands. Haven't set it into motion again yet. That's a repeated message from what we see over here, but we do also see that things are starting to change, which may be this is okay. So this piece here was what made me feel like you've got to ask this question. This is the part, this makes you hit record. You have to do this today. So there is definitely something they feel like they haven't set into motion. And we see that over here. They're really examining it because they've got that energy to set something into motion. But a lot of things with them talking themselves out of it, doing all of this to kind of keep themselves down. And it's all because of this fear that they're going to ignite their passion for you. And so over here, when we look at their hidden feelings that have to do with you, we see that passion. We see that things aren't over. We see that they haven't set things into motion, but it still has that feeling like it's time for them to do so. And the winds of change are definitely blowing. Let's see what else wants to come out for this one. That's quite a lot. So we've got the Two of Wands, which thought about coming out earlier. We've got the Justice card. This is about keeping things right, making things right, getting across the chasm between the two of you of unresolved emotions, not feeling like they're quite ready to do it, not being able to make themselves move. So this Wheel of Fortune energy makes them want to, it blows them along on their path. It makes them inclined to move because that's universal energy coming their way. The Chariot is their own energy saying, I don't want to, I'm not ready to move right now. They are getting to a place with, okay, so they've got to learn this lesson about where they put their energy. That's going to help them to be prepared for this. And I think we want one more card. Man, I am just riffing on this. Okay, so we have the Star card. And so the Star card is all about, it goes with this Justice card. So the feelings that they bring, or that you bring out in them, are bringing things to a place where they feel like they should be. It's the way that it should be. There's this strong sense that almost if I kept going, like the Hierophant is going to be the next one to come out. And I'm afraid to even check after what happened over here. But it really, I'm feeling it because it's that sense of inevitability. But I also get that sense of inevitability from the Star card and to a certain extent the Justice card. But they've got to learn this piece that is really, it's part of the excuses they're making for themselves and the way they're dousing their own passion. They have to get out of their own way. That's part of what's happening with this Five of Swords. So that's an internal conflict. And that's part of what's making it so that they're not able to move forward. Huh. Okay, so let's look to see what kind of energy is heading your direction, because we see how your person is feeling, and this is all hidden under the surface type of feeling. It's not the part that they tell you. In fact, whatever they told you is really only just part of the truth there. We see that. We also see that there's something, the winds of change are blowing, and they're feeling like they're a little bit more capable of moving forward, but they haven't yet. And so they're a little bit more conscious of all of these things that are trying to slow them down. So let's take a look at what's headed your direction now. What's headed your way as far as energy, or more accurately, what's the energy that you are headed towards? So with what you're doing now, not counting for what free will you could put into the situation, what kind of whew, okay, we're gonna just have to take some cards. I thought this was going to be one card, but what are you heading towards? So we have make sure that you pay solid attention to truths that are coming your way. You have a unique opportunity right now to learn something that is new. There is something in you that doesn't want to change, but you desperately needs to change in order to take on this new truth. That's part of the reason that it's in reverse. Until you can get to a place where you have this change, this new truth is going to have a really hard time coming through for you. And it has everything to do with your control over your emotions. So there's a strong desire for you to have control over your emotions. And in order to kind of keep the peace and keep yourself feeling a certain way, you like to maybe keep things within the lines. And your best bet here is going to find a safe place to where you can let things go outside the lines. This is the change that you need. That's what you need right now. It's going to help these new truths come out, and that is going to help to open a door for you that desperately wants to open. You've got some energy that is not ready to resolve just yet, some things that need to calm down but kind of haven't had the opportunity to yet. It's like when you're on this boat that she's on is moving from choppier waters into calmer waters, but it's not yet doing that when we see it here in the reverse. So there's a sense of change that needs to happen. There's a kind of a young or a youthful effort to make this change. This new truth is coming your way. There is, along with the Page of Cups, there's almost this flirtatious energy that starts to come in for you here. Concept of lots of options that want to come out for you. This is what's heading your way. So there's flirtation, there's options. This flirtation does not have to be, and we're done, does not have to be romantic. And we have the truths that are wanting to come out for you here that we see over here are going to be impossible to truly absorb into yourself until you have made this change over here. And that change is going to be the emotional change, allowing yourself to be more vulnerable, even just with yourself. Okay, and we are going to get one more card. I got the okay, stop now, but it was just the stop with that stack. Okay, so this card, this Six of Wands, really kind of came out sideways. We're going to go ahead and leave it sideways because that is a card of, because that's the way it feels like it wants to be. That is a card of victory or potential victory after a long battle. But it hangs in the balance here. We can't decide whether there's going to be victory after this long battle or not until you know whether you're going to be able to pull this change out. And so this change, like I said, is going to enable you to be able to bring in these truths, and these truths are going to enable this victory. So they're coming your way. So are some options. Those options present a distraction, not that you shouldn't move toward them or at least investigate them. We always see that we need to be able to at least investigate what's coming our way, but realize that your success hinges on your ability to make this change. Whew. Okay, so now we're gonna do. I do want to get you an oracle card. So this is the Oracle of Magic. I think that's what it's called. It's one of my favorites because it's another one of those ones that just kind of gives you the emotions, but this one also gives you several words, and there'll usually be one that stands out a little bit more than the rest. I feel like this advice that we're getting in this oracle card draw is going to be helpful for you in this area. This is going to be helpful for you as far as moving on and getting these truths into you, because they're coming your direction, but they kind of just bounce off or wait on the sidelines until you're ready to absorb them. And until you're ready to absorb them and take those things on, you cannot be victorious. And that includes with your person. So this is all about changes that need to be made on your side. Not necessarily that they don't need to make changes on their side, but that it's very specific to you on this particular piece of these pieces of advice. Okay, so we've got two cards that came out for you. We have Voodoo Roots and Secret Seances. So, and with the first card here, we have Respect, Survival, Liberation, and Freedom. Liberation and freedom are the pieces that stick out for me on this card, and it has to do with self-liberation, liberating yourself from some things that have been holding you back, and that's the absorbing those new truths that are coming your way. But you're going to have to allow that to happen, and it's going to give you an amazing new freedom when you do. This card with the secret seances, the words that come out on the bottom are spirit world, messages, assistance, and memories. So messages and memories want to pop out for me here. There is something that is just kind of barely off the scope of your notice, just barely outside the scope of your notice, but it's sitting there in plain view. Something that is going to be incredibly beneficial for you. It's going to feel like deja vu. Maybe it's going to feel a little like a memory. It's an important message for you, and when you see it, you're going to know it's relevant to advice for you for this very situation here. You're going to have a moment of recognizing a sensation, and instead of turning back, which is what you typically will have done with that King of Cups energy, and saying, I'm not going to be vulnerable, I'm not going to do this. Instead, your opportunity is there to move forward. By doing that, you will be making this change and opening yourself up to be able to absorb these new truths that we also see are both coming towards you and going from you. So there's an exchange of truths, an exchange of energy that's going there. And I don't think I said that the first time, but I'm really definitely feeling it. So okay, I am going to leave this right here. Since this is just a soulmate snapshot, it is not going to have, I guess I did some clarifiers, but we're not going to do an extended on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and put it up there, because I usually plan on putting out a reading every 2 days. Usually I skip a day, sometimes I don't. Today I'm not. Seems like there's something that just had to come out, and so I feel like it's mostly in here, but boy, some of it's also over here too. So hopefully this was helpful. I hope that if it resonated, that you are going to be able to keep your eyes open for some of these potential, like this thing that's hiding from you in plain view. We've heard it in a couple of readings now. By the way, these are all connected. So if this was your reading, you may want to subscribe, because there have been several that are all attached like this ever since back in September. So take a look at some of those. Definitely feel free to subscribe. Hit like if you like this format. Let me know what you guys think of the Soulmate Snapshot. And I look forward to seeing you again in another reading.